Alright guys, welcome back. This is going to be a second part of a video I made a couple months ago. This is about the Toyota rav4 2.4 liter oil consumption issue. I previously made another video before I took this car in to have the oil consumption test. You guys can watch that. You'll see here, I'm going to show you remnants of this little paste they put on here. So basically they sealed all the possible orifices of the motor where you can check or add or delete any oil. You know, the reason was they wanted to see whether this car consumed more than a certain specified amount of oil. I think it was maybe a quart and a half over 1,100 miles. So I drove this car for 1,100 miles, took it back to Toyota, you know, told them to do the phase 2. The phase 2 on this car is basically them checking to see how much oil was left in the system. So let's go inside, we'll see what the paperwork looks like. So I'm going to show you guys what they did and how big these work orders are. So you could see I basically have, now keep in mind this was all covered under warranty. This car has 144 plus some odd miles, and it's almost 10 years old and they still covered it. So if you guys have a 2.4 liter Toyota, please check online and make sure whether your engine, well, whether specifically your VIN is eligible for this extended warranty. Now, I don't know if it's particularly called a recall on this vehicle, but this is what I initially showed in my video. So you could see they know the initial date of the purchase of the vehicle, they know the VIN, and they say that primary coverage here is up to October 31st of 2016, regardless of mileage. And the second item here is up to 150,000 miles or 10 years, whichever occurs first. So that's really nice of them, you know. This engine did always consume oil. I wound up putting in more than a quart per every, you know, 600-700 miles. It was pretty cumbersome and a lot of work. So let's see what they did. So basically they kept the car for a little over a week. They did offer me a rental, you know, only after I asked for it. Not a big deal. I didn't really need the rental all the time. But let's see right here. So we have 4 new pistons. We have a piston kit, which is, I guess, the piston repair kit. We have new oil. We have new coolant. Oil pan. I don't know if they replaced the oil pan, or maybe that's just the fill plug of the oil pan. That's just the second paper. The first paper right here is basically what else they repaired. So you could see the tech determined that the reason these cars consumed oil is it has something to do with the VVTi in these cars. So let me just read it for you. I don't know if you guys could see it on the screen. Maybe the quality isn't that good. Tech found split intake cam shaft seized oil. Control valve seized timing chain tensioner and stripped and stretched head bolts. Caused by tech found intake cam split prior, seized VVT and control valve and timing chain. So basically there's something wrong with the VVTi sensor in this car. I did always have the check engine light on, and the codes came back to crankshaft fluctuation and timing. So basically I replaced the crankshaft sensor. I replaced all the sensors that have anything to do with the timing, and it was still there. The problem was still there. Had a bunch of inspection problems. Apparently is because of the oil VVTi system in this vehicle. Now my check engine light is gone, and it hasn't come back. I've driven for over 50 miles. I've checked the computer with my scanner right here, and seems fine. So that code is eliminated. So let's see what they replaced here. So it says valve assembly, cam timing, crankshaft bearings, tensioner assembly, chain, a bunch of bolts, flanges, and tech replaced camshaft, VVT, and control valve. Everything checks at this time. The only issue I did notice after getting this car back is now my VSC light is on. And there seems to be some kind of strange noise coming from the rear, from the bottom of the car. At least now the 4x4 works. Previously when the check engine light was on, it didn't work. So that's a benefit. They did recommend that I get the 4x4 serviced. I don't really know what that entails. I'm going to look into it and maybe go over, you know, ask them what that is, and if that's possibly why my VSC light is on, and also the ABS, they're linked in this vehicle. So that's what it is. Make sure you guys go and check to see whether your vehicle, I know a lot of these Toyota 2.4 liter engines are included in this warranty extension, as they call it. Some of the Scion models, the Camrys, the rav4. So go and make sure. You know, these engines do take oil. Some people do add it, which is what I used to do. But unfortunately, you also start to get check engine light problems where you can't pass inspections. So they did all of this for free, no problem, you know, up until October 31st of 2016, regardless of mileage. So as of today's date, there's a little over half a year to go get this done. Now make sure you go and ask to get the oil consumption test. I do have a video posted previously about that. It's a couple minutes long. You guys should watch if you're interested. Basically, they just, you know, you pay for an oil change, $20, $30. They seal off all the possible orifices in the engine with a certain sealer so you can't unscrew anything. You drive around for 1,100 miles, bring the car back, however long that takes you. And then they do phase 2. And the phase 2 is basically what I just described in this video. So I'm going to check back in with you guys later to see whether the car actually has stopped using oil. And we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Any questions, please do, you know, ask me below, and I will try to respond as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.